What about people that have got big bags on either side of Pulse and Pulsex and Hex? Like, is
That's why
Okay,
you have to have an
honestly, we
address
are all
ready
our
for
own banks. We
in
are all
for
our
each
own
one.
banks. You are responsible for where your money and what you are doing, but every single individual that is getting something forked or is part of this forking in block height has something to do. Whether it's moving your funds, whether it's securing the funds, whether it's understanding that you need to organize yourself because you're receiving this much, there's always something to do. And please do not stand there like a dumbass, like a deer in the headlights. You have to do something. There are multiple things you need to do. And if anything, it should stress you out if the first thing you would like to do is swap because you're greedy and you would like to get something. That is the wrong attitude to have. You are in a brand new chain. You have sacrificial wallets. You have certain wallets that are staking. You need to set up a brand new method, a brand new, fresh, clean slate. It is very important to not do anything. I repeat, do something, ask questions. Everyone has goals. Everyone, you're your own fucking bank. You lose your money, it's always your fault. It's always your
Hmm.
fault. It's never the fault of someone else. If you listen to someone, that is your fault. You did not do your DYOR. I don't want to hear anyone point the finger at anyone. Everyone has something to do for their bags in their bank.
yeah,
So
yeah.
please, let's talk about that.
I'm not talking about do nothing, but at the same time, we're all here in the RH system, which is
Mm-hmm.
like hodl and just maintain and don't trade. And so a lot of people, maybe myself included, is all about like holding on and maintaining and not moving too quickly and trading with assets that are beautiful and in our hands, in our pockets.
Yeah, but he's
But
saying
that's a strategy. You
to
have to understand. You
transfer
understand what you're doing.
your new coins, transfer it to a new
No, no,
wallet
but even if you
because
do that, you can't tell me that right now you are security wise safe because none of us have the coins. There's always something that you can do as soon as the launch starts. It might not be trading, I completely understand, but everyone is in a different situation, and I don't want people to be assumed because not everyone is in the situation, but everyone is in the same situation when it comes to what happens when the mainnet happens. You're able to do things, and there's always something to do. And I feel like when people are saying do nothing, it is very inexperienced because people want to do things. You know, the people that say do nothing are the people that have POS, that have PLSX, that have Hex, all three of them. And they're just there like, yeah, do nothing. Well, it's easy for you to say someone doesn't have PLS. No one's taking into consideration that this person has been DCAing for the last 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. He's been putting $500 a month, and he's in a mode where he's like, you know what? I want to get this. I'm ready. I've been saving up. I've been listening. And then people are just going to turn around and you look up to and say, yeah, do nothing. While I'm going to do everything because when we're in the chat here, it's going to go bonkers and we're going to say, yeah, yeah, boom, that's a good choice. Or this is a good choice. Send your funds. Da, 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 da. There's always going to be something to do. So when I hear people say do nothing, man, it's a really, really, and I hope I get to
Yep.
people in their skin right now because it's like, come on,
Yep.
man. There's always something to help people, especially as Hexicans. There's always something to do. It's impossible. You just stand there like I say, a deer in the headlights. It's impossible. And don't listen to people who tell you that. We could always
Okay.
find something to do.
Okay, I agree. I totally get where you're coming from, and I think where you're coming from is everybody's situation is totally different. Like in some people's situation, it is a good thing to like not do anything. In other people who's like like coming up and like doing deals and trades and shit, like absolutely make your move. Absolutely make your move. If you've been listening to this chat and you're on top of shit, like absolutely. But some people, it's like just don't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely things to do when it starts up. That's for sure. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff, right?
security stuff, and then you got to transfer your
Yeah,
stuff and go get a stake it if you're gonna stake, and yeah,
yeah,
just have a game plan ready.
yeah. And one of the strategies we talked about last year was, before the bridge is live, there's no price, right? It's all ratio trading.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you can reconfigure your assets into your wallets or into new wallets, right? And
Yeah.
so if you want to do Christmas gifts for family and friends or whatever it is, for, let's say, you give them like a 5-year stake or something like that, or whatever, you just, maybe you got a niece or nephew, that's, maybe they're like 1 year old right now and you want to give it to them when they're come of age, right? Or maybe they're teenagers and you want to give it to them when they're, 18 or 25 or something like that, right? As a gift, right? You put, even $100 in, right? You just put it in an address. If you do that, if you do that in the first day or so, the first few hours before the bridge goes live, there's no price, right? And so then you can go and claim, right, to your tax regulator that, hey, I gave this money to so-and-so because it's in a different account, right? And it's got a zero
Well,
price.
technically, you don't have
They
to
don't pay
mention
for it.
anything until you sell.
Yes, but what I would say is I would have this down in writing at the time,
Mhm.
so that when you go to sell in 10, 15 years, right, if anyone asks any questions, say, oh, yeah, it was given at this price, at zero, right? And then now you just give them a gift, say, hey, here's, $100, it got turned into 10 grand or whatever, let's say, right? You got to pay taxes on it or whatever, it's up to them to deal with it, but you can claim that it's theirs and that you never really transferred the money to them after there was a price appreciation on it, right? So you don't have to pay for the price appreciation, they'll pay for it, right? And so it's just a nice, cleaner way, in my opinion, to do it. So there's one opportunity, kind of the short window, to have that all set up. So depending if you want to do something like that and you have, a few people you want to give it to, or maybe there's 50 people you want to give it to, there's a lot to do and set up in that first day or so. Definitely. Yeah. Like was mentioned, have a plan, have it written down, these are the steps I need to do. And when V3 goes live, that'll be a great time to test that action plan that you have and update it, right, to make sure that it has everything that you need. And you can even create those accounts on V3, right, that you need, any of the new wallets that you're going to need. And I would suggest, if you do take a Ledger or Trezor, right, which everyone should be using, because it's silly not to. You're just asking to get robbed. If you're using your Ledger and Trezor, what I would suggest is get a new one. If you're doing this gift idea, you don't need a new one for every single person, right? But I would just get a new one with a new key phrase, new passphrase, and I would set up all the beneficiary accounts on there. And even though you're going to be maintaining it, right, you're going to put some Pulse in there, you're going to put some Hex in there, you're going to put some Pulsex in there, right? You're going to put all three coins if you can in there, right? Definitely Pulse and Hex, right? They're definitely going to go in there, because you need Pulse to pay for the transactions at the end, right? And so say you got a 10-year stake and it comes due, they're going to have the Pulse in there to end that stake, right? Or to make a swap, right? Without adding any extra outside money to it, right? So then even in 10 years, what you can do is you can then at that point give them a hardware wallet if they don't have one already, right? And do the transfer then. And they can just claim that account that you had on your Trezor as theirs and the new account that you send it to, right? That they set up on their own, that they'll have the keys to. But in the meantime, you can be custodian over that until, such a time that, they're of age that you want to give it to them, right? But you don't necessarily need to have 10 different Trezors because you're giving out 10 different, of these gifts basically, right? I think you could do it from one wallet, just try not to mingle it. So that's what I would do at least.
Excellent.
I would transfer. Yeah. So it's a big bullet point that's kind of a bonus on top of everything else that we're having coming here with Pulsechain and Pulsex, and Pulse. Yeah. So it's another thing to add to the list. So yeah, when Pulse goes live, there's a shit ton of stuff to do. It's going to be hard to probably get it done. You definitely have to take a day off when it happens, just to make sure you get everything done in time.
Yeah, the problem is that some of us travel for a living and work, and then you're getting into am I really gonna have to travel my keys for the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months for when this happens? I know most people don't have this problem, but it is a little problem.
I think you might want to call in sick so you could actually not rush and do everything properly.
At the end of the day, it's always your responsibility to have taken care of that and to have presumed that, okay, when you did anything that you did or how you're set up, in order for the block height, it's always your responsibility. So I completely understand you don't have the time, but that is only on your shoulders, not ours. Because for the last year, we've been explaining, giving hints, this, that, experiences. We've tested out. It's at this point, it's kind of like Papa Boner style. It's it's either this or nothing. Because if you say this, then it just means that you haven't looked at it on this side. Because we've heard so many different ways, right? So it's what I would suggest is taking advantage of now, the time that you do have until the copy, to set something up. So like you said, when you're working, you don't have to worry about at least that much more of your DCA, or at least that when you get home, You'll send all the coins to your brand new prepared address, Trezor, and you know, if this stuff is supposed to go where it's supposed to go, everyone here should have an extra Trezor for this.
Bro,
To be
I'm,
honest with
Yeah,
you.
I have
I'm
3, and I'm gonna pick up another one.
sorry. I'm talking about literally internationally flying around the world, and
Oh well,
That's
having
wonderful,
to
man.
take your keys
they
with
There's
you.
sell
always
you
something. You can have a
they
Trezor
sell
with
you
you.
Wi-Fi on the
You can
airplane.
have Tails Treasure with you. You can have a portable router like I have. So wherever I am, plugs to the computer, it powers. Put the hotspot to my router. The router sends me a brand new internet. Connect with my Tails, brand new operating system. Nothing gets recorded. Use my it. You know, it's a process. But if if you're talking money, you should put money into talking money, right? If you
Mm-hmm.
have
Mm-hmm.
$1,000 on it, I understand. If you have $100,000, I'm pretty sure if we have, like you're gonna put, like you spend money to make money, right? So there's always a solution, man. You
Yeah,
just have to sit down and look at your
I need to
choices.
listen to you more often because this sounds fascinating.
And it's very cheap efficient. So all you would need is your original computer, right? And then you would need a 4 GB memory stick. And from that, you would have a brand new operating system that doesn't record your transactions, that doesn't record what you're doing, and you're using your hardware wallet for a specific device, right? For your security. You're really limiting your vectors and you can be on the go. There's this router, I could send it to you. It's a mini router. Bullish sent it to me. It's wonderful. I could use it as a tether hotspot and it's on the go. I don't need to plug it in the wall. It's straight USB powered and I could take it on the go. And then I'm presuming there's a way for you to do mobile hotspot. So it really comes down to experience and your knowledge of the thing because there's always a solution depending on what happens. So I would really ask the questions now before it's too late. We're not here
Thank
to
you.
boast. We're here to help. So please, if you have
Absolutely,
questions,
Yeah.
let's go.
absolutely.
Yeah, I think one of the issues of traveling, right, is you don't want to be traveling with your hardware wallet with the keys on it. So you're going to have to separate that into different parts, right? So I know, yeah, what I would do in that case is I would maybe throw,
Put it
you
in
know,
your man pocket.
no, well, you just want to split it up, right? Like anything else, you want to reduce the risk, right? So, not that I'm saying that you actually put the words up, right? But you have some kind of an algorithm in your head, like, hey, I'm going to put these words, I'm going to write these words down, but I know that I'm going to be they're going to be shifted by 3 or whatever it is, and maybe you put, of your 24 words, right? Maybe you put 8 of them, on a file on a thumb drive, right? Maybe
Papa
you
would be yelling
maybe you
at
put
you
another
right
8
now.
on paper.
Papa would be yelling at you right now. Use the.
Yeah,
You
he'll
should. If
flip a
you're
I know.
wig.
traveling, you should have one for traveling. If you're traveling, you should have so much traveling. If not, you could. There's always something. Personally, you should
Also,
never
you have
have the
that.
same seed phrases. Never. You shouldn't say, "Oh, I've been in crypto and I'm using the same seed phrase." That's a no-no. That's like I'm listening to that and I'm saying, "Okay, no, 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 no."
Yeah, but I mean, he's locked in. You're
But you
locked
could
into
have the
whatever
25th
address
No,
you
I
word.
understand,
sacrifice
but if
from,
you're on the
right?
go,
You could have the
like
25th word
no, man.
Okay, okay,
and
okay.
have a hidden
Let
wallet.
me
Your
tell you my
devices,
problem.
if you don't keep your seed phrase on you, you could keep the device. You could have 10 devices. The device is just the vessel. You know what I mean? It's the best thing to have besides your keys. Your keys, you leave them at the safest spot. You don't bring them
Yeah,
with you. You bring your hardware
exactly.
wallets with you at all times, and you always have a hidden wallet. Always.
Can I?
Or you just buy
Papa doesn't travel with
wallets.
his hardware wallet.
Can,
You could
Papa
buy
clears.
the wallet and have it wherever you're going,
can I,
You want to
delivered there.
clear that wallet, right? You don't want to be traveling internationally with a hardware wallet that's active, right? And so that's what I'm saying is you just need to be able to bring it back. Whether that means that you have to call your mom, on the phone and ask her for the
Well, why
last
wouldn't you
word.
have your hardware wallet with you? A traveling one.
You shouldn't be traveling with your vault. It just doesn't make any
Oh,
sense.
with your vault. But you shouldn't even be accessing your vault.
Yeah, but when Pulsechain goes live, right? A lot of people sacrifice from different wallets, right? Okay, maybe it won't be their vault,
exactly.
No,
I
but
guess.
if they shouldn't, the way you're explaining it, it should not have been their vault. Their vault should be an address that you have, copy paste in a text edit, a public key, and that's it. And every time
Brand new.
you want to like say, okay, I'm traveling and I need to send $100,000 to myself because it's home, you send it to that address and you only access it at home. You know what I mean? That's the way you travel, but you always have a hardware wallet on. You should always have money on you. Always. In case of an emergency, you should always have. I would even suggest keeping
Yeah,
like
but
$200 in a MetaMask in your phone if you
I,
have
I,
that much money in
Yeah, I
crypto.
mean,
Just to use your credit
I mean,
cards or your cards, your crypto cards. I have crypto cards, so like I can use Canadian money, European, Great British Pound, and with the Binance, unfortunately, it goes to every fucking it goes to every country I am in. So with that
Yeah.
being said, I should have $200 to $500 on a MetaMask somewhere or on me available. Because what happens if all my cards get shit? Okay, I could just sign in somewhere, use the Binance Pay. Like you should always check your horizon. Crypto is all about anonymity, but at the same time too, it's like there's options and there's solutions. It's the normal way of doing things. To me, it sounds a bit rubbish. It sounds a bit like, okay, that's not how you really
Let me
do it.
add something to this. Basically, I'll give you the exact thing that happened to me, and I'm very secure. I've got loads of like hard, I've got wallets coming out of my ass, right? But what happened was, we were all there to like sacrifice for Pulse and Pulsex, whatever you want to imagine the sacrificing situation when you're locked into a country and you're like, I'm totally secure. I'm going to sacrifice X amount of dollars to Pulse, right, on my hardware wallet. And you get a big old, bunch of points. But then it's locked into your hardware wallet. It's locked into your keys. But you have to travel around the world when Pulse launches. How can you foresee where you're going to be? You've done everything you can do. You've locked it into a hardware wallet. You've got your keys imprinted in, metal.
Well,
You
in that
can't
case, you
foresee this.
just have your wallet somewhere safe, and you mess with your wallet when you come back.
Yes, exactly. But you're going to be away when Pulse launches potentially, and
You could
you're talking
also
about like
buy a brand
24
new
hours,
one
and
and
you're
have a
fucked.
3-day delivery
The
of a brand
only
new
the only
wallet, and
solution you would
then
have is your seed phrase, and you never carry your seed phrase on you in travel. Never, ever,
Exactly.
never, ever, ever.
you could put it in your man pocket.
No, 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 no,
even the man pocket's not good.
Hey, I'm giving you options.
no, no.
If
The
you
So
want
the,
to use
the
hardware
it,
wallet
that's
is
all.
better because you could always have a kidnapped wallet. With a couple thousand, you say, "This is all I have. Here, take it," and then they leave you alone. That's it. It costs you $1,000 to save your life. You should always have a "I'm robbed" wallet. I got robbed wallet, like a decoy wallet. I'm sorry, but if that's how you move, there's so many solutions, guys. You should always have something on you. No way do I leave a country somewhere where I have to spend time to go back to get something. I have everything on me. I leave that, and everything else is hidden, and everything that's hidden is not accessible, and I don't want to access it. But everything I want to access is on me. It's the way it works. There's the vault is the vault, man. It should not even be on you. It should not even be
That's what I'm
anywhere
saying.
near the internet.
The vault is what I have all of my Pulse and Pulse X on.
Well, then just create. Well, it's your vault. You shouldn't be scared. I wouldn't be scared unless you used your
No, I'm not.
vault
I'm not scared.
like a naughty boy.
What you guys are making me scared about is the fact that I may be traveling internationally when I'm not next to my vault, which is back in my hometown.
But that's okay. It's your vault, right? Like the worst that's gonna happen is
You could
the worst that's gonna happen is that you can't touch it until you go back home. Okay, well that's cool.
Exactly. And what I was saying is, it's not that bad a thing if you can't touch all of this shit whilst Pulse Chain launches and it goes fucking crazy. You're still going to be all right.
Yeah, it could be beneficial for you. It could be.
Exactly. Exactly.
It could be beneficial, of course. There's always that I could be, but you also could look at it and be like, why didn't I just have it on me? Obviously,
Bro,
nothing happened. Everything went
I
well.
think I'm going to sleep well.
You could remember the
I
words,
think I'm going to
right?
sleep
Keep
well.
it at your house. Remember the
Nah, man,
words.
what are you
Have a
saying? That's
brand
the
new one
fucking
on you,
stupidest thing I've
and
ever
then
heard in my life.
load it up. Load up the new wallet wherever your destination's at.
No, I'm good. I'm good. But listen, I like your guys' angle of like, you need to act, it comes out. You guys know your shit. You've been listening in these rooms, you know your crypto, like act, do shit. I probably will try to a certain degree if I'm on my keys. But if I'm not on my keys, I'm gonna be like, I'm good, and like
Well,
let's see what these guys do.
Well, today I would revisit a plan, right? So you know your situation, right? You know that you have a vault, this and that. What I would do is what I would place yourself from now until the end where you have something to play with, where you have something on the spot. You're like, you know what? I can do something, but it's a percentage just because it's either you don't do it and you miss out on the games or you do it and you lose only so much. So I
I'm
would
not sure.
suggest
I'm not sure what you're talking about is correct because my keys that I allocated to the to pulse chain sacrifice, etc. I don't think I can change
Okay,
like
but get
get
over
that into a different
get over
wallet.
it. You're still DCAing, right?
No, I'm not DCAing anymore.
Oh, so you're done. You're just chilling. You're not gonna get anything else at these prices.
Well, no, I can't DCA into Pulse or Pulsex. I've
No,
put
no, no, no.
everything
I'm
there.
saying because it's not because those are the immediate coins that most people are gonna get fucking rugged on. But you're probably still getting Hex, Hedron, Icosa, and other coins that you're gonna have, right? You're gonna do new stakes. You're gonna continue doing stuff. Why not take charge of the t-shirts at this moment? You're still gonna do things. So what I would do is if you know maybe you're gonna be traveling, well, I have something that you should have on you. So like that, at least you're able to do something and you don't feel like you missed
Oh,
out. Or
no. Of course, I always travel with a bit
okay,
of a hot
perfect.
wallet.
Okay, I just
Just
wanted to make
having
sure.
fun.
I was just making
No,
sure, man.
no, as if I can't not like keep doing shit. Of course.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You're still gonna do it, but maybe revisit your strategy and say, well, hey, maybe let's see if I could do it differently. Because when you're gonna get the block, when shit gets copied, everything that you already have, you should scrap that and send it to brand new wallets for Pulse Chain, just Pulse Chain, and those wallets just touch Pulse Chain, just PRCs, and that's it. You don't have any other approvals. It's never touched any other DApp. You should be doing that. So, but you could prepare that now, right? Where you use the existing addresses that you have now, and you can send it to the brand new address that never touches the internet and only touches it when you need to do something when it launches. So you're
This
in total
this is good talk.
security.
Good
So it's
talk.
like
Good talk.
it's not a vault, but it's like a pulse chain treasure. So it's like, no, I don't touch nothing on ETH. It's not going to do any swaps. It's not going to interact with any protocol. It's not going to do any stakes. It's not going to do anything. What I'm going to do is that I know my copies or BRC20s are going to get copied. So whatever I want to use in order to get maybe more Pulse, more Pulsex, more Hex. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my first wallets that I have. I'm going to use my transactional wallet to swap it, and then I'm going to send it to this new address that didn't touch the internet, right? So you could generate the seeds online. I'm saying,
rugged. That was good talk.
You got rugged.
Yeah, that was really good talk.
Yeah, I like it when the rooms are like this. I feel like I pick up so much knowledge.
Yeah, he's so right. Like we should all be
Oh yeah,
setting
yeah, man.
up those kind of
He's
wallets and like send that shit there. And we're not, we're all like dilly dabbling around with like all sorts of contracts, but like send that shit to a hardware wallet, cold storage. He's right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a best practices guide. He was just spilling nuggets there.
But like the nugget, not the nuggets that like deep fried and like kind of cardboard, like proper nuggets, like gold nuggets, like the things that you pan out,
golden nuggets.
like
Yeah,
the things that you pan out of like the river, and it's like, oh my god, I've just got some proper nuggets.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like the gold pan was spinning around and he was just getting like bigger nuggets were getting clearer as he was speaking and then got total fucking rugged.
Yeah, it's like you drop the panhandle, like you had the nuggets, and then you just drop them back in the stream.
Exactly.
Yeah. You got to redo it.
But that's
I
going to
would
take
say,
10 years. 10 years.
And I like it when he
redo.
gets fired up and shit. He's like,
yeah,
beat it into you. Mhm.
passion's burning, eh? You can, yeah.
Guys, can I ask you a quick question? Going back before this security talk, which is very interesting, and I'll give you a suggestion in the end as well. But going back to strategies when blockchain launches,
Mhm.
and to give you a bit of context, well, I got into crypto in December 2021, so Pulsechain sacrifice was already over, so I didn't sack for Pulse. I sacked for Pulsex though, so
Oh, cool.
I will have Pulsex on launch, and I will have Hex as well. I won't have Pulse, but I want Pulse. So
Mhm.
there are many people like me. And one thing that strikes me, and I haven't heard anyone talk about this yet, I have heard the opposite. So Fudsters keep saying that everything is going to go down because Hex is going down because people will sell Hex to buy Pulse and Pulsex. Pulsex is going down because people will sell Pulsex to buy Pulse. And Pulse will go down because whales will sell Pulse. It's impossible for everything to go down, at least pre-breach, because pre-breach, you cannot bring value onto the chain and you cannot take value out of the chain. So the universe of the value within the chain will be split between Pulsex, Pulse, and Hex. They cannot all go down. One will go up more than the others, and one will go down more than the others. So for someone like me that has two of the assets pre-bridge, how wise would you think it would be to just look at the market, wait for it to move, and see which one will go up the most and which one will go down the most? Because I know that one of my two assets is going to be the worst performing, and the other might be the best performer.
Taking brand new powder.
Brand new powder, right?
Yeah. So,
but I can't do that pre-bridge, right?
well, yeah, you just need to have like hex, and then you can use that hex that you get the copy, and you can use that copy to pick up your bag.
Right. I understand that, but that's not the issue here. My point is, I want to. Yeah, go ahead.
As I say, that was what I was warning against, right? Is, obviously Pulsechain was the hardest thing to get because it happened first. And then Pulsex is the second easiest thing to get, right? So more people have Pulsex. And then, failing those, you'll buy Hex or some other token. You might have a stable coin or who knows what, right? But something else. And when Pulsechain goes live, before the bridge happens, right, you can't add true dry powder. You have to do a ratio trade. And, I just, like you're saying, you want to watch and see where things go, and that's probably a wise move. But you only have two out of the three. You only have 2 out of the 3 tokens, right? So you don't have as many possibilities as somebody who's got all 3 tokens, right? They can play the game against you when they see it going the opposite way. And most likely, a lot of people are going to be trying to trade Hex for Pulsechain, and I think that's a bad move. Personally, I think that's a bad move. There's not very much liquidity, right, between Hex and ETH right now. How much liquidity is there between Hex and ETH? Not very much. So if everybody goes and does that, it's going to crash the price of Hex, and then now you're going to be trading something that's worthless for something for Pulse, right? So it doesn't make sense to go that way. But people are going to do it anyways. Whatever. What you really want to do, right? What you really want to do is you want to find something price. Right, so it may be a stable coin if you just hold a stable coin, but they're very risky, right? But you want
Shiba Inu, buy any coin that's going to get copied in, you could trade that in for or wait until the market's up, right? Because it's going to dip.
Yeah, well,
and then you buy the.
It's not just any coin, but what you want to do is you want to look at the ones with the most liquidity, right? Specifically, the ones with most liquidity with ETH. So if you go on Uniswap, right, and you go sort it by liquidity, you can see which ones are there, right? They have a listing. ETH, USDC is like, I think, one of the top ones, more or less. There's some other ones on there, right? But go through the list there and take a look. What has the most liquidity? Because even if you're late, right? If you're not the first guy in line, right? If you come an hour late to the launch, if people are trading, as long as there's enough liquidity there, the price won't move. But something like Hex, if it's got thin liquidity, right? Because the liquidity keeps on going down, right? I don't know whether it's at now. I'm sure Silver could mention it, but liquidity was like 300 million. Now it was down to 50, and then 26 or something like that million, whatever it is. It just keeps on going down, down, down. There's other things that have more liquidity. That's what you want to trade. If you don't want to basically have the price go against you, you want to have the most stable price. So it doesn't have to be a stable coin. It can be something else, right? I think depending on what your thoughts are on the market. Obviously, stable coin is kind of a safe play, but you can take a chance on another coin as well, possibly, right? As long as it has thick liquidity, you'll be able to trade it and get your value on the other side. So to me, that's not Hex, though.
Right. Well, I understood that. I was trying to get to another point. So when I don't think any of these two assumptions will be right. The 3 assets, the 3, yeah, exactly. The 3 assets will not go down. So Hex, Pulsex, and Pulse will not go down the same way that Hex, Pulse, and Pulsex will not go up at the same pace. At least it's not possible. It's just not possible. Pre-bridge, I mean. So if I have 2 assets, I know that at least one of my assets will be either the best performing asset or the worst performing asset. And hopefully one of them will be the worst performing asset, and I can use the other to buy the dip. So let's say Pulse is the best performing asset pre-bridge, and I have Pulsex and Hex. So either Hex or Pulsex will be, among these 3, the worst performing asset. So say Hex is the worst performing asset. I can then use my bag of Pulsex to buy the dip, the hex dip, and hopefully from the dip up, it will outperform the other two. Inversely, if I have the best performing asset, then I do nothing. If say Pulsex is the best performing asset, I just want to hold it for a long time. So it doesn't matter if it goes down after the pre-bridge period. I don't care about it. I just want to buy the one that I don't have yet, which is Pulse, and then I can bridge in value from ETH like a stable coin or something. But I think that math at least tells me this. I have two assets. I know that one of them amongst these three will be either the best performing asset or the worst performing asset. And if hopefully, and this sounds weird, if hopefully one of them is the worst performing asset, then I can buy it on a dip.
Yeah, I mean, I think it becomes a matter of timing, right? At that point, you're trying to buy a dip in a price relative to one of the other assets, right? And yeah. I mean, you can do it. It's going to be hard, right? No one's really going to know, is this really the bottom? Is it going to go further down? Especially with ratio trading and such early days where liquidity might be thin. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the hell happens, honestly.
Yeah, but thinking long term, it's just a matter of you thinking whether long term, if the ratio is beneficial or not at the present. So if say Hex dips 50% against Pulsex, but you think that over the long term Hex will outperform Pulsex, then this is actually a good ratio. You can buy this dip, you can dip further, but over the long term you'll get more profit from this trade than if you just hold the one that's overperforming the other. So and this, like I said, this is all pre-bridge stuff. After the bridge opens, I'll just bring in stable coins or something and try to find the best moment to buy Pulse or something.